live. What is up, my Nameks? How's everyone doing this evening? I hope you guys have been having a fantastic time with this COVID-19 crisis going on. I know that's kind of a bad thing to say, but I mean, what I mean by fantastic time is I hope you're all doing well. I hope we all have been persevering through this time. Because I know for the most part, my daily routine has not changed whatsoever because I have an essential job. So I've been going to work every single day, working a little bit more than usual sometimes just because the need's been there. But I hope for those who have been out of work and have not been able to, keep a normal schedule, I hope you all are doing well. I hope you're able to get any type of support that you need. I hope you're able to get toilet paper because, we have a toilet paper crisis apparently because everyone wants to buy out toilet paper. But I have noticed definitely like the last day I worked because I was off this weekend. The last day I worked, we had more, at least in my department, like more product left over by the time I left than normal. We've usually been sold out by that time. But this the last day I worked, which was Friday, we had more product left over, which I was surprised. So that might be people kind of coming to terms with everything and realizing that, this crisis isn't as big as like the media's been making out, so I probably don't need to like stockpile on stuff. Or it's the sheer fact that they've stockpiled so much that they have no place to put anything else, so they don't need to get like perishable items and stuff like that. We've still been sold out of toilet paper and everything, which is no surprise to me, honestly. But I mean, that's kind of a turning of the tide in my opinion. So, hopefully in the next couple of weeks, because around here, our schools aren't going back until, like, I believe April 17th. So, that's when, probably around here, that's when stuff will get normalized and we'll all start to see, like, a lot everyday life coming back. I know a lot of the students have been having to do, like, at-home work, like doing stuff online and having to submit it and stuff like that. So they haven't been like on a total vacation. So there's that. But as far as the Dragon Ball is concerned, because that's what this is, it's a Dragon Ball Super card game podcast. I know you wouldn't think that with that intro, but I did in the audio version of this. You could check that out at anchor.fm or at my other distributors of it, like Stitcher, Spotify, Google Podcast, and you could check it out on YouTube as well. We are recording simulcasting from an audio version and a video version, so I upload simultaneously via audio and YouTube. That way it kind of hits a bigger audience. That way I could fuel both, I could feed people into the YouTube and vice versa to the audio. But, wow, I lost my train of thought. Wow, I don't even remember what I was saying. Anyways, I was talking about Dragon Ball Super as a community. I have seen a lot of the community rallying together, as far as, like, I believe Pro Play Games has started like a online tournament scene via Octagon, and a lot of other places have been holding online tournaments, via those online platforms like Octagon and Untapped and stuff like that. Even Joey at Crossworld TCG, he did a how to set up Octagon video. There's been other videos out there on how to set up all these online platforms, and that's great. I love seeing the community coming together and doing that. It's fantastic, trying to persevere through this time right now, and try try to get it to where this game just doesn't feel like it's dying and you kind of sweep it under the rug. Because it's not dying. It's like everything else that's been going on with this crisis. Everything's kind of getting at a standstill, and everything is, been halted from its everyday course of action. And this really is going to show how people can come together, and how we need, I think, especially for health reasons, is probably an eye-opener for people. Like, I need to change what I'm doing with my health. Because as easily as you could get this with having poor health, we've had cases of people dying from this, and, that's sad to hear, but, a lot of it, I know a lot of it's probably been elderly people where their health hasn't been in a good spot for years, and that's really sad to say. But you have heard, younger audience of people have also not made it through this crisis if they've contracted it. And, a lot of that probably has to do with maybe their health conditions and the lack thereof having good health. So hopefully that changes people who already don't do regular healthy things for themselves, like taking vitamins and, exercising, stuff like that. Hopefully it gets people on the right path of doing that. That way they have better health, and, if something like this ever happens again, which let's hope nothing like this ever happens again, our bodies will be prepared. But getting back to Dragon Ball Super, it's really great to see the community coming together. I had the pleasure of seeing, because last episode I talked about people doing these poll games. Well, over the last week, I think it was Wednesday or Thursday, I had the pleasure of watching one of these live via Grand Line Gaming. Shout outs to them. They just had a tornado hit their establishment, or where their establishment is, and also their owner was in a car wreck. Well, not a car wreck, but he got hit by a car or something. So I hope he's doing well. But shout outs to them, Grand Line Gaming, Jonesboro, Arkansas. I had the pleasure of watching them do a poll game with my boy Trey Burris, doing that for them, for that establishment. I had the pleasure of watching them do this, and man, was it I could see the stress in his eyes, and even afterwards, it felt like he was having an anxiety attack, just trying to keep everything together with that, as far as, making sure people saw what they polled, making sure that the right people were getting the polls in, I guess, the time, like when they put it in, making sure they're getting that polls. That's stressful, and it takes man, I don't see how people that do it with one person are able to handle it. Thankfully, he has other people with him able to do that, as far as making sure how many cards are left over, who's got the next pull going on, how much, and making sure each item stays separate and goes to the right person. That's a lot of work, and doing it just through the Facebook live streaming, and doing it because he was using an iPad to do it over, that's, boy, I couldn't do it that way. I'd have to have a whole setup, which where I had a camera just on its own thing, and making sure that I get all the views of everything. That way I don't have to worry about moving the camera and all that. I would work smarter, not harder, in my opinion. But, they're limited on setup. They don't have the type of setup I have for it. For me, I'd definitely go for, like, the best quality of pool game stream. But I'm always been about that when it comes to anything live streaming, trying to get the best quality out of everything. But still, I had the pleasure of watching that, and I mean, there's money to be made there with those pool games. Do I personally think people should be buying into them? I mean, if it comes to the DraftBox 5 stuff, probably not. I think you all should be holding your money and waiting until this crisis is over, because we are getting a second run of this stuff, and so the prices are not going to be as high for these cards, and that's just if you're buying singles. Like, if you're doing a pull game layout, you're paying a certain amount and you're hoping to pull those cards, the money cards. But I said something about this last episode for the pull games. Like, it's basically a loot box if you get right down to it. Granted, the guys up, my boy Trey up there at Grand Line Gaming, they've kind of had I feel like you get your money's worth just from the cards I've seen them put into the pull game. And plus, they do that point system with the Dragon Balls. If you get a Dragon Ball, that's 1 point towards, and you can turn those points in, and you can get, I've seen stickers, which was the smallest thing, up to a backpack, So, I mean, they're getting, you get another incentive to doing it, because you can get cool product that they have for doing the pool game. So you're getting cards, and you can turn in points, and you can get a backpack, a binder, deck boxes, etc., etc., So, I mean, that is a cool aspect to it, and I applaud them for doing that, because I don't know anyone else who is doing that. So I don't know if they took that from someone or if that's their own idea. But even if it's not their own idea and they took it from someone, whoever came up with that was a good thing to do, to give more incentive, that way you don't feel like you're pulling just all dead cards. Granted, I can see where it's all well, that's less cards they gotta add to the card pool. It's all well, I mean, at the end of the day, they're trying to make money. So, I mean, they can't just outright, take a loss on everything. They got to make a gain off of this, which I can see that. But me, I'm an average Joe, average consumer. I'm not going to buy into that stuff because I don't see the value in it, especially right now when there's no sanctioned events going on. There's no events of any type happening right now. So I don't see the point of buying into this. I don't see why anyone should be buying DraftBox 5 singles right now because of the prices that they're at. They're just going to sit in a deck box once you get them. And you're not going to do anything with them because we still got another at least 2 weeks before most of us get off of a social distancing type of schedule to where we can go out and start being in bigger groups. So there's just no point to doing it. Plus, we're going to get a second run. You probably should wait until the second run because the secondary market's going to go down once that happens. And, and by that time, we probably will start having sanctioned events again. I mean, right now, the only sanctioned events that we have are the online tournaments some of these other establishments are doing. And you don't need physical cards for that. You have all access to all the cards, so you can make any deck you would ever want to make. So right now I would not be buying cards, not even singles, unless you're just flat out getting a deal on them, and for a fact that it's a deal. And I don't see a whole lot of people coming through and doing that. But, I mean, there might be. I don't pay attention to the market too heavily, just here and there. That way I can have, somewhat of an input on it. But, for any type of card game, in my opinion, the singles market is where it's at. And at a time right now where there's nothing going on and people are selling these draft box cards for, basically retail, even though there's nothing, we don't really know how good some of these cards are because we haven't had a sanctioned event with them. We've only had online events, which is, I guess, is tipping, it's kind of opinionated whether that's a sanctioned event or not and how well it would do. But I mean, generally an online meta has always been different from a actual like physical copy of the game's meta in most card games. So it's hard to take into account if the meta on those tournaments is what will be what it is once we get sanctioned events again. It's hard to say. It could be, it could not be. You never know. But still, until we know, I wouldn't be spending any money on these cards. I would just hold back, save your money, and wait until everything blows over and everything normalizes again, and then see where the market goes from there. That's just my opinion. You could take it for what it's worth. I don't, at the end of the day, it's just my opinion. You could do what you want with your money. And you can feel free to comment, leave a comment down in the comment section if you're watching via YouTube, or you could send me a message over the audio platforms, and you can speak your mind there to me if you want to reach out and give your 2 cents on it. I would like to think most people have my same opinion on this, but I'm pretty sure a lot of them sellers are all like, dude, what are you doing? What are you doing? I'm trying to make money here during this crisis, and you're kind of just shitting on everything. And excuse my French on that. But, I'm not trying to put a damper on your business. Do what you do. You got to do what you got to do. Just like we all got to do what we got to do right now. So if you feel like you need to buy singles right now because you don't know if you'll have access to them after all this, by all means, do what you want to do. But, from where I stand and where I sit, I'm gonna hold off, and I would implore anyone to hold off if they don't absolutely need the draft box cards. That's just my opinion. But you guys do what you want. Most of in like the episode where I covered, which I think was episode 3, where I covered what are going to be like the money cards in the draft box, like most of that's been pretty accurate for the most part from what I've seen on the market. Like the dog cards, the Bergamos and stuff, like those are some money cards. Definitely the Jaren's money. The black Jaren. I don't think the 17 that's basically Gogeta 7. I mean, it's got value, but it's probably not as valuable as like I was thinking. And I don't even know if I put like a high. I can't quite remember, but I don't think I put a high value on it. But I figured there's a little bit of money there just because of the sheer fact that it's basically a new Gogeta 7, and it's in an Android archetype, so it could be used for an Android type of deal if it needed to be. Definitely. The red Goku. That's money right there for sure. That card was just great coming out of the gates, in my opinion, because it was like it was the first card I believe I went over. So I was all like, wow, that's just money right there. But there's a lot of good stuff in the draft boxes, and they're definitely giving me staples. Just right now is probably not the best time to be buying them because you're not going to be playing them, at least physically. So, moving on to other things. I haven't seen very. Let's see here. I'm going to go over to the old Facebook. go to the super community page because I don't think I've been on it today. Yeah, more people doing draft, like, just more posts on Draftbox giveaways. Oh, and I love how Pro Play Games is putting up all for their online. Oh, wow. So they named it the Tour Weekend. Oh, Tour Weekend Champion. Andrew Duvall. Nice. Surge. See, that's the thing. That's the thing, too. The Surge leaders, because Andrew Duvall over the weekend, he won with Surge Goku, and, man. Oh, wow. So, yeah, he was utilizing the new draft box, the 3-drop Goku with that, which is phenomenal for that deck. Oh, he was also using a Booney as well. So he went 3 colors. Nice. This deck just looks solid. You have 4 Senzu Beans, 3 of the championship Bardock. He was using the red-blue Beer Super Combo, using the Frieza check land. Also had Frost Deadly Poisons. Like I said, the Goku from the new draft box. Further Instructional Champas. He was also using Hercule Boo check land. He had 4 Topos, 4 Raiders Warkai, 4 Coolers, 4 No Holds Bars, Beerus's. He had Smoke Dragon. He was also playing Shrouded Mystery Fu, Champa the Trickster, and like I said, a Booney. Looks like a baby card, and he also had the other 8 from Draftbox 4. Pretty solid deck, not gonna lie. And that's another thing. I think the Surge leaders are still just this outclass other leaders. Like, I don't know any other leader that might be able to contend is maybe Thick Boy Jiren. Cause in my opinion right now, Thick Boy Jiren is he's what Yellow Brawly used to be before he got errated. Right now he's just generically the best all around yellow leader. And that's just my opinion, and I think other people have stated this before as well. But the Surge leaders right now, they seem like they just still outclass just because of what they can do and what they have access to, because they're both dual colors and what their Surge abilities do. They still outclass right now. And Surge Piccolo, he's still probably the best deck in the game right now. And below him is probably it's going to be Surge Goku for sure. Then I think you have Jiren, and then anything below that, it's going to be Majin Buu, which is Majin Buu is just the best aggro deck right now. And you probably have Surge Broly in there as well. I don't know if he's better than Buu necessarily. I don't think he's better than Jiren though. So you could kind of put maybe Buu and Surge Broly right now on the same